Okay, so I did ask you guys both on Twitter and YouTube here actually. Ask you guys to have me give me any Dokkan Battle related questions and I'm gonna answer here. I'm gonna respond on this video here today. So yeah, if you don't follow me on Twitter, I guess you can go ahead and do so. I think I'm gonna do this once every few months since it's right before the 8th anniversary in JP. I think it's a good time. Maybe I'll do it again right before, the 8th anniversary in global, worldwide, like every 6 months or so. I think maybe it's a good time for maybe shorter. We'll see. Kind of how during big moments, right before big moments in Dokkan is a good idea. But yeah, just fun interaction with the community here, and I'd like to hear your guys' thoughts and for you guys to hear my current thoughts on the game based on the questions you ask me. So let's hop right into it. We have 2 quote tweets here. I guess I should say I don't know if I'm going to be able to get to every question. I might answer as many as possible. Maybe I'll aim for like 30-40 minutes on the video. Let's see here. Which anime do you want Dokkan Battle to collab with the most? Now, probably the anime I would say I want Dokkan to collab with the most is Naruto. Naruto or JoJo's, one of those two. I think those two are definitely high up in my enjoyment of animes. There definitely would be in my top 5 list of my favorite animes, I'd say. In terms of I guess they're both shonen, right? So in terms of what I would like to see from each of those series, I'd say obviously Minato, right, from the Naruto series would be very, very cool to me. I would rainbow him first, man. I don't care. From JoJo's Giorno Giovanna is what I would like to see. I mean, Golden Experience or Golden Experience Requiem, either one I think would be very exciting for me. But yeah, those would be my choices. What was the best meta in your opinion? 120%, 70%, the Golden Age, etc. I think, honestly, my personal highest moment in Dokkan, or at least, well, I guess I should say the best meta in my opinion, I think it could come from 2 different point of views. The meta I had most fun in, and then what I think was the most healthy meta in the game. I would say the most healthy meta in the game was probably around year 5-ish, around that time. I feel was pretty healthy. I wouldn't really say a lot of the characters necessarily were clearly better than the other. I feel in a lot of situations. And then I feel more towards the 6th anniversary, things kind of started shaking up a little more in terms of okay, this unit is, we had Count Gleef, I guess, at the time, but you guys I feel you guys got my point, the middle of the category meta. That I feel around 6th anniversary and then onward, it started getting a little stale for me personally, and 7th anniversary did revitalize that, so that was pretty good. But my favorite meta was probably the 50% superclass Vegito Blue and AGL Rose meta. That be right before the 2nd anniversary, essentially. That was very, very fun, being able to run all the top tier units in the game on one team, basically. Kind of like how Movie Hero was right now in a sense, but just probably way more flexible, way more better. That was very fun running that villain team, especially with Rose and Buhan and everything like that. I think that a lot of people look back during those times of Dokkan and think of them as the best times of Dokkan. But I wouldn't say that's necessarily when the game was at its healthiest point, maybe. The game didn't really have too much content to do. It was essentially you get the characters and use them in Dokkan events, and you have the community. But now we have a bunch of different events and things to try them out on. I think it's probably better right now than it was in terms of it being a standalone game. Let's build the Orange Piccolo card heart in Minecraft. That could be pretty fun, for sure. I've been playing Minecraft a lot recently. What's my favorite OST? My favorite Dokkan Battle OST? It's very difficult. There's a lot of really, really nice ones. I think my favorite one might be the Tech LR Super Saiyan Goku and Gohan. I've been listening to that a little recently, just once in a while. That's a really, really good OST. Just kind of thinking about it at the top of my head. I'm trying to think of others, but really just not popping up too much. The Gamma 2 OST, that's also a very, very good one, but I would have to kind of sit through them, I feel and listen to some of them. The Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta Physical LR OST from the anniversary, of course. Those are really the 3 that pop into my head right now. Thoughts of Dokkan ever getting a pity? Didn't get new LRs after spending 2,000 stones. I think that Dokkan isn't really necessarily in a rush to have to add pity. I think that a lot of games that add pity are using it as a supplement to make up for, basically they would benefit from having a pity than not benefit. Whilst Dokkan is such a large game at this point, there's such a large player base. A lot of the players at this point have cemented and spent a good amount of money, especially these high-end whales make up a very huge amount of the revenue. They would take away the revenue from like these really large spenders, possibly by a very large cut. I mean, I myself had gone around like what 3,000 stones, like the equivalent of like 3,700 stones before I finally got Orange Piccolo. I don't think that should be a thing personally, but I don't think they would necessarily do it unless they feel it would benefit them in terms of making more revenue. Now, if they do add a pity, or at least if they want to add one where they can kind of keep their revenue stabilized, a lot of people like me usually just want one copy of the unit, whilst the whales would go for all 5 copies and they're the bigger spenders, right? In my opinion, they should guarantee a unit at most 1,000 stones. If you get the unit before then, you're good, and that's basically it already used up. But no matter what, if you get to 1,000 stones and you're having on the unit, you guarantee get the unit, so that if there's a character you really want and you want to save up for, it'd be helpful. Let's say there's a free-to-play, well, not free to play, like a light spender spends around like 700 stones in the banner. Let's say, just as an example, I'm not saying everyone does it, but then they're like, okay, I'm 300 away from pity, might as well spend 1,000. I personally would be willing to spend 1,000 in each banner just to get a guaranteed copy. I think that would be pretty good for a lot of people, and whales specifically could get that guaranteed copy and then still get absolutely destroyed, thousands of stones before another copy, who knows. But that would kind of like circumvent that in a sense, where at least you're guaranteed one copy, which would be very helpful. That's how I would personally handle it. I know Ningen has a very similar idea. Who was your favorite TUR and LR of 2022? I think my favorite Dokkan Festival TUR in 2022, huh? I mean, yeah, Dokkan Fest Kid Goku is definitely my favorite Dokkan Fest TUR. Extremely fun unit. I still have fun with him to this day. Love his animations. His active skill, while it could have been better, I think it still looks pretty nice overall. And a fun team for sure. My favorite LR of 2022? I really like the Goku and Gohan. I talked about that Goku and Gohan, but they're a very, very fun unit for sure. I think that they could definitely do a lot of, interesting stuff in terms of like it's the animations, right? Just a Dokkan original animation. I think that's really, really cool to have those Dokkan original animations. But yeah, favorite LR might have to go to probably the LR Gods though. I have the most fun with the LR Gods specifically. I rainbowed them on their first banner in like 600 stones. That was pretty cool, but those would be my 2 choices. Is there any hope for any Beerus character in the future? I feel like there is. Beerus is obviously gonna get a new card eventually. I would assume whenever we eventually get like some kind of high Beerus, or it could just be another normal Beerus from another, like Legends has like a Beerus that does like a Hakai ball kind of. He doesn't actually Hakai, I think, the enemy from what I'm recalling, but Fighters has a Hakai Beerus, although it's only against the monster, right? So I don't know. They're kind of iffy with the Hakai. Obviously, a Hakai Beerus in the future would be very, very cool. I mean, in the Legendary Election, they had Hakai Beerus as an option from what I'm recalling. So eventually, I think that'll happen as an LR, something that'd be really, really cool to see. Even Battle of Gods, Beerus vs. God Goku as a worldwide celebration could be interesting. Tech Android still the best TUR? No. My favorite celebration in Dokkan? Honestly, my favorite celebration, I have to think about that. Probably still the worldwide celebration. I think it's the 300 million downloads with the Frieza and Super Saiyan Goku. That was very, very exciting. Was it 350? Honestly, I forgot at the top of my head. Don't blame me for that, I guess. Well, I think it was... I forgot, honestly. Just whatever. The one with, full power Frieza, then the Namek Goku. That celebration was very exciting for me. I had a ton of fun in that celebration, personally. I'm not a firm believer in Goku Black Supremacy, the TUR one. not the stinky LR one. No, I think he sucks right now, but an easy A would be very cool. His super attack animations are nice. What do you think the Dokkan Festival after anniversary would be? They usually go for something out there, so you're thinking Dokkan Fest Lord Slug. Yeah, the Dokkan Festival after anniversary usually isn't anything too special, I'd say usually, because one time we got UI Goku's Dokkan Awakening and Jiren. I think that was after anniversary. Kid Goku was after anniversary, and I guess many people wouldn't think that's outlandish or anything like that, but Kid Goku was very popular when he came out, at least in JP, so who knows. Last year we got Ginyu, so hopefully they do give us another villain. The actual last villain unit we got that was summonable, like a headliner, like, you know, Dokkan Fest RLR. Luca Dokkan actually mentioned this, but it was the LR Meta Cooler, so I'm not sure if Anniversary will include a villain unit. We're not 100% confirmed on that yet, but at least at the time of this recording. But I think, you know, Lord Slug definitely does deserve a Dokkan Festival, just because he hasn't really had a new, like, unit in a very long time, right? The only one we really have is the physical Lord Slug. That's the only summonable one we have. We have the free one, but yeah. Favorite unit ever? I mean, honestly, it's basic by Tech Gohan. Tech Ultimate Gohan is a very, very powerful unit, obviously. And I just think that he is just going to be good for a very, very long time. And yeah, he just love his animations, love Ultimate Gohan. Gohan is one of my favorite characters. And he was just always good, in my opinion. He's still good right now. So I find, you know, defensive units that are still good now, obviously, are very fun for me. What time did I have most fun playing the game? I did explain this earlier, but again, the Vegito Blue and Rose, the original ones that came out back in 2016, right? 2016, 2017. It's all blur at this point, honestly. Any summons that I regret? Yes, there's one specific summon session I do regret. It wasn't on YouTube, actually. It was during the 6th anniversary, so UI Goku came out. I got 2 dupes for him pretty simply. And then I was like, okay, well, 2 dupes is pretty good, but I do really want that gold slot. So I kept summoning, and then, you know, eventually I was like, okay, I'm an extra, like, 1,500 stones, like 1,500 stones into this banner, and I don't have the 3rd copy, and I gave up. So I basically went another 1,500 stones for no reason. I think those are the summons I probably would say I do regret the most. But yeah, that's really it there. Especially because, again, at that time, I was just doing YouTube. I was a small YouTuber and something like that, right? It didn't really have a point to it. What do you think Dokkan is going to be within the next few years if Dragon Ball media is at a constant rate of being released? I think Dokkan should be fine, honestly. We're at a point where there's so many characters that are old can still be redone. You know, Super Saiyan 3 Goku. We're getting like a new Goku Black that's transforming, right? Dragon Ball Saga as a whole, I feel like is just entirely untouched. We've been getting a lot of Saiyan Saga recently, but we can get Frieza Saga. I mean, if we think of Frieza Saga, we don't have a Super Saiyan Goku like voice transformation. A lot of Super Saiyan Goku's animations from, you know, before the planet exploded with Frieza, I feel like could be redone. There's still a lot of Frieza animations from when he's fighting Kaioken Goku. That Kaioken Goku can get new animations, right? There's tons of other stuff from previously, like we don't have a new Zarbon. We could probably get a new Gohan, a new Vegeta, a new Krillin, right? This is Namek Saga alone. Cell Saga. We can get like I feel like we can get an active Skull Father Son Kamehameha unit, a new Perfect Cell. We can get a new second form cell even. There's so much characters that they could just redo because of how much better the animations are, and then how long it's been since we got a lot of these units. I mean, literally, we're for the first time, we're getting an actual summonable Super Spirit Bomb Goku. Like, for the first time, basically, with actual good animations, which is crazy considering we're already going to hit 8th anniversary. Same with the Universal Spirit Bomb Goku. It seems like those are the anniversary headliners, and we're getting them for the first time, right? Basically, that especially that GT Goku. We haven't had an LRM like a Shenron, right? And there's so many things that we could still get in the game that they could just redo as new units that I don't think Dokkan is in any worry, even if there's no new media. However, I would say, you know, it's not impossible that they could, even if the animators come back, they could always be making new movies, and they could always do what if stuff. Like we saw that Goku and Gohan was a what if card where, you know, Goku did the Kamehameha actually in person with Gohan. They could do stuff like that. That could be really fun. What if we got like a Cell Spirit Bomb card in the future or something wacky, right? Who knows? Like a father-son Spirit Bomb between Gohan and Goku. Craziness can happen if they really want it to. I think that could be really cool. Well, I guess the question was, if Dragon Ball media is at a consistent rate of being released, then Dokkan is going to be fine. I mean, the only issue is that they kind of have to... I feel like they kind of trap themselves a little bit. Like we have to release some kind of new mechanic during the anniversary every year. And it's like, I wouldn't say they necessarily have to, but we can see every year there's something new. So maybe eventually just kind of run out of something to introduce, and they're like, well, what do we do now? But that's really it. Do you think both versions should be caught up? And if you think so, how would you catch up Global to JP? Honestly, I do think that both versions should be at the same timeline. How I would catch up to Global to JP is I would just, like, remove any instance of a dead period and then have banners kind of overlap, right? So let's say we have, again, Golden Frieza released on the 16th, right? Let's say his sales for his banner lasted just a week, singular week, but his banner lasts for the general 2 weeks. Then on this week, on the 23rd, we have Dokkan Fist Kid Goku release, and then his sales last for the singular week, right? And then his banners last until here. And then essentially where, when the Golden Frieza banner ends, we'll get, I don't know, let's say Dokkan Festival Yamcha or the Carnival Super Saiyan Goku, and then, you know, maybe his sales are up for this moment, or they do something where the sales are able to be, like, you know, stack on top of each other only for like 2 banners at a time, where and it could be an instance where, okay, we have these banners that overlap, and instead of it taking a whole month for 2 banners, it's a whole month's time frame for 4 banners. That's like the only way they get, like, catch the games up, and it would have to be during a time like this where Global, like, we have the JP anniversary, and then Global would just kind of catch up to JP by the time the anniversary is over. And then after, it's the same until, I guess, Global's anniversary, which it would be weird. Then the biggest problem would be the anniversary. So, like, one of the anniversaries would have to be at the same time somehow. It would be weird. They would have to, like, slow JP down during Global's anniversary and then kind of resize it until the next anniversary in JP, where they have it together. Like, that's the only real thing that they could do it. The way that they could actually do it. I mean, best case scenario, they would do it at a time before the anniversary starts, like around December-ish. But yeah, that's pretty much it there. That's one way they could possibly catch it up. People, you know, say, what if they just release all the units in one banner that's up for a while? And I guess that could be a thing, but I don't know. I feel like a lot of people wouldn't like that. But, like, you get someone on that banner aiming for a specific unit, and then you get tons of the other units, right? It just wouldn't feel as good. I guess it would be better than, like like, you know, the Dokkan Fist Kid Goku banner, where most of the units suck. But 2 questions. What's the most underappreciated what unit is the most underappreciated? I was confused. I didn't read unit. Most underappreciated units. That's difficult. I would say really just units with 70% chance to dodge, like the S-tier UI Goku and H-O UI Goku. I feel like they still have a lot of use. Well, obviously if they get hit, they die, but I feel like you can get away with them in a lot of teams as like a 6th option. I know a lot of people aren't really that big of a fan of like the RNG aspects to these characters, but 70% chance is a pretty high chance, and I feel like a lot of people underrate how good that of an ability that is, and how much like good those characters are gonna age. I feel like those characters will still be usable even in like a year or 2 or something like that, right? So like those characters with 70% dodge chances is what I'd say probably are underrated or underappreciated. Top 5 Dokkan OST. I don't know. Maybe that could be a separate video. Let me know if you guys want to see me do a top 5 Dokkan OST. But I named a few earlier, so I kind of, this is what it is. Will quality of life changes do I think the games need? Quality of life changes. That's a tough one, because I feel like what could they do to just improve the game specifically? I honestly can't think of one on top of my head. Again, this is like a question where I have to, like, not really on the spot, but I have to like sit down and even make an own video for it, just kind of discussing how I want the game to improve. I mean, yeah, I honestly can't think about one right now at the top of my head. If I think of one when I'm like seeing the other questions, I'll kind of talk about it more. But yeah, honestly, nothing really comes to my head. I mean, I would say they need to add, like, quality of life doesn't really need to be improved that much in the game. I feel like they'd have a lot of quality of life features. And the things they add are just stuff like, oh, that's cool, right? You know, it makes things kind of easier, but there's not really an issue much with playing the game anymore at this point, so that's good. But let me know if you kind of have another thought about that. Do you think the global version should be more communicative in its scheduling like a roadmap? I don't think so. Because I feel like the global version is not. I mean, it would be cool if they're like that, but it just would. You can kind of already. The point of them trying to do this is that they don't want you to know everything that's exactly upcoming in exact fashion, because they don't want you, like, at this point you can kind of tell they kind of like mix and match things, and obviously maybe they try to make things more unpredictable so that, you know, someone doesn't just hoard a bunch of stones. So I don't think they would ever do that. Well, it would be nice if they would do something like that. I wouldn't anticipate it. Plus the global version, probably if they try to do something like this, they would mess up somehow. It just, the global team isn't too competent already. So again, it comes back to where they either have to just keep the game at a consistent rate behind, or at the same time at all times. Because when they're doing this mixed match stuff, it just leads to a bunch of issues. And it has been that for actually years at it, like years ago. Tech Hit first, the global first. No, it was Legend of Broly was actually a pretty fun release, but like Tech Hit, Tech Hit was just a funny time, and ever since then it's just been pretty awful for the most part. Do you think this year there'll be representation of Vegito? I mean, probably, theoretically yes, because we haven't really had a Vegito in quite a while. I mean, the last Vegito was in 2020. So I feel Vegito is a very popular character. I mean, Super Vegito, just Super Vegito on the banner art himself. We haven't had like anything like that since 2017. So it would just be weird if we don't get a Vegito this year. I feel it's a good time, for sure. My favorite units of all times, in terms of animations, probably LR Super Saiyan 2 Gohan still. Just of all time, his animations are, I just love the Cell Saga, and the Kamehameha is really well done. Passive performance, I talked about that, but I guess Tech Gohan, right? I mean, he's literally the blueprint of a unit that I like. Will Dr. Rilo come to Dokkan? Who knows, right? I'll read two more of these last two here real quick. I'll come back to these questions, but I want to take a look at some of the comments on YouTube. Esther Vegito and Gogeta, Tech Gogeta, aren't easying in the same celebration, but do you think they'll be around the same ranking like they were in Gogeta's release? I mean, maybe they'll fix it for the time release. They're kind of designed very similarly until they transform, so I feel it just really depends on, like, you know, what kind of content is really relevant at the time of their release. I feel that Vegito will probably just still end up being better, just because of how stupid counters are. And he has a 10-turn scouter. Just, yeah, I feel like just Vegito's, because with how they do EZAs, Vegito's just base is just much better than Gogeta's, and that's how it is once he's transformed. So who knows? If they increase Gogeta's scouter like 10 turns, make him keep his reduction, we'll see. Who knows? If like Vegito comes out in, like, I don't know, let's say 2024, Tech Gogeta comes out like the end of 2025 or something, then I think there would likely be a power increase between, you know, Gogeta being better than Vegito, but who knows, right? Maybe Vegito is just like the best EZA for a year. It depends. Do you think Global and JP should catch up or keep it how it is? I think they should either catch up or be at a consistent rate behind. Again, with them doing same time but then behind, and then this back and forth leads to a lot of shenanigans, like how we saw the easy ace for Gohan and Cell. We're not on global. Okay, let's move on here. Let's see kind of the 2 comments here. I don't think I liked any of these, but let's do this. Personally, hoping Hybrids, Fusion, or USS gets buffed this year. Any characters in particular you would like to see for these categories? For Hybrid Saiyans, I think I would like to see... Because we're talking about Gohan, Goten, Trunks' Pans. Probably a Gotenks. I think a Gotenks, the new Gotenks, we're finally due for one. It's been a very long time since we had a Gotenks actually in the game. I mean, the last one was the Int Gotenks. I'd say more as a, let me clarify, that as like a summonable, like Dokkan Festival unit. Not like some banner unit or anything, like an actual Dokkan Fest or LR Gotenks. Yeah, LR Super Saiyan 3 Gotenks sounds really good to me. Fusion, I guess I already said LR Super Saiyan 3 Gotenks, but Fusion just needs like every character redone, except, yeah, pretty much. We just need a new version of like every single character standalone, right? On USS, I would really love a UI Goku. Like a Blue Cow Ken Goku that does a Spirit Bomb and then transforms into UI Goku somehow. That would be very, very sick, and I think that is very, very likely to see very soon. Even during anniversary, we'll have to wait and see, right? 3 questions. My favorite celebration was, again, the Goku and Frieza celebration. I do think DFE and Carnival format is good in terms of the excitement for the units. It does suck that there's kind of technically an extra banner, but it gives those banners actual value rather than being just like terrible units that you wouldn't summon on and having the second half of the anniversary being kind of dead in a sense, right? When do you think Dokkan will shut down? I don't know. I feel like Dokkan won't shut down for a very long time. I'm pretty confident in that. Dokkan just makes a lot of money, I'd say, and Dokkan has a lot of content they could still do if they really wanted to, and they are still pushing out new media. We got Superhero last year. I wouldn't be surprised if we get a new movie announced during this year. Maybe it comes out 2024. We'll have to wait and see. Yeah, I would say if I had a time machine, which era Dokkan I would like to go back to. Honestly, I like this era right now. It's not. If I had to choose an era, I would go back to Vegito and Rose, just because that was my favorite time during the game. But I've had to choose staying in this meta and in this era. I think this one is pretty good so far. I am enjoying it. Do I feel Dokkan has made it easy for new players to get involved? I do agree. Well, I would say yes, that they do. They introduced the Version Z campaign, which most of it was really to make the game easier for new players. They rehauled, like, you know, the training system. They made the friend system even simpler, I guess, to find some friends. Well, I wouldn't say simpler, but they gave the auto, I guess not auto. You know, I just realized the slice of life update that they could do is they could make it so that you can auto retry instead of having to click retry, and then that would be really cool to see. But yeah, the Version Z update with the Version Z Goku, very strong for a starting player to get. There's a lot of good things that they introduced in Version Z, so I think that they do make it easier. When did I start playing Dokkan? It was early on. How did the community really blow up and how it was different back then? You started playing in the first week, but you didn't put any serious game time into the second anniversary. That point, you missed out on a lot of the early days. So I was like on and off in Dokkan in the early days. I used to go on some of these like forums like Game FAQ and stuff like that, right? There's a lot of like different, you know, forums that just went on just randomly. I think early Dokkan was a lot more lax and just kind of free willy, just kind of doing things. I don't know how to really best explain it. I mean, I wasn't really too deep into the community until around the time you were, before second anniversary for sure, but I wasn't really too deep into the community like that. So unfortunately, I can't really give too much insight before that time frame. But I started playing Dokkan. I saw the app in the App Store when I was in middle school, basically. Oh my god, that's a long time ago. And I installed it, and I was like, oh, this is fun. And then I kind of just uninstalled it. I was like, I got bored of it, I guess. And then kind of just uninstalled and reinstalled it over and over. Then I made an actual JP account when I saw Omega Shenron and Buhan were announced for JP. And then that's the account I have now. So very exciting. Yeah. What are some of my favorite and least favorite Dokkan celebrations in the game? What do I like and dislike the celebration? And my favorite, Goku and Frieza. I love Dynamic Saga. The Goku and Frieza fight is one of my favorite fights. It's not my favorite fight. Very exciting. A huge moment for Dokkan. Least favorite celebration? That is tough. I mean, I wouldn't necessarily say it's something where I'm looking at like, yeah, I hate this celebration. I mean, JP handles all celebrations a lot better than the global version. There's always going to be those dead celebrations. I guess a celebration, let me think. There's 1 month on JP where it was just dead. Like, we got one event and it was awful. Basically, I forgot which month it was. Was it the month where we got the Monica Beerus? It was a while ago, but it wasn't really that fun. You can't remember the actual event, so, but yeah. If they revamp the World Tournament, what do you think they could do to make it fun and enjoyable? They would have to definitely remove the preliminaries, or at least make it just one fight in the prelims. That would be very good. They just need to make it maybe like kind of like Battlefield-esque, where maybe instead of just having to rely on AoEs the whole time, there's different, maybe some phases you could stun the enemies, or some situations you could seal. Maybe there are multiple enemies where you want to use AoEs. Maybe they're just one singular enemy, right? And it's like you have to put thoughts into your team building. I mean, imagine if they just revamp World Tournament and make it Battlefield 1.0. That would be interesting. What I think was the best era, my favorite era. I kind of explained this, right? I feel like the 70% era with the Vegito and Rose, and then the best era was, again, I mean, like the 5th anniversary, like around that time frame. I feel like a lot of people were very happy with the game. But I think right now is a really good era too, that I feel like a lot of people are satisfied. I mean, overall, disregarding Beast Gohan, we don't have to talk about that. Well, yeah, I think the best one with Dokkan history in terms of hype was the 5th anniversary. I talked about this, but again, Naruto, JoJo, for sure. What type would I currently consider to be the best unit in the game? I think a unit really does need to excel at both offense and defense at this point, but they also have to be doing something unique. We're at the point where a lot of units are just good at offense and defense equally, but then what makes the best units in the game are units that especially can combat super attacks or do something that just other units don't do. Like, we have Cooler, who is doing more damage than most of the game himself, whilst he's not really doing a special effect himself as a unit. I guess he's like the only unit that can really consistently like do 5 super attacks in a turn like that, without any transformations or nonsense. He just does that. Vegeta and Trunks have their unconditional guard ability. They have the active skill that gives defense. Revive Goku has the revival skill. Orange Piccolo has his orange transformation. Kid Goku, the damage reduction support. There's a lot of different things. Even STR, like the Carnival Goku, the STR one, he has his Scouter ability with some damage reduction there, right? There's a lot of things that these units do. Well, I guess Vegeta and Trunks, I'd say having that guard ability is not really too special because the Revival Goku does that, but you get the point. It's not something that they just hand out to characters for free like that, right? But yeah, I'd say a unit has to be good in both ways. I would skew more towards defense. I'm a defense guy. I think that it's very important. Like, what a big gap between how good a unit could be. If unit could survive super attacks for me, while obviously doing some nice damage themselves, so I think that's better than a unit that just dies to super attacks while they have the potential to melt the enemy, right? Just my personal playstyle. What EZAs do you think we can get? We can get the Super Saiyan 2 Goku and Vegeta. I think that was a really cool dual to confess. Physical Super Vegito, STR Super Buu. I think those are 4 very likely ones. GT doesn't really have EZAs. They could do Super Baby 2, but I don't know. I feel they'll save Super Baby 2 for a Dokkan Fest of his own. Maybe that could be the Dokkan Fest after anniversary. A Super Baby 2. That could be cool. Do you think Spirit Bomb Goku's would be hype enough? You're not hype whatsoever. Someone who wants Goku and Vegeta's. You don't like Goku enough for him to only headliner. I think that any moment from the, how do I explain it? The, what's the category name? Battle of Fate. Any Battle of Fate like moment or scene, well, at least given it's not like Hercule or something, I guess, right? Could be an anniversary headliner, or any moment could be an anniversary theme. So like Boo, this end of Boo saga with the Spirit Bomb and end of Omega with the Spirit Bomb, that I think does deserve it to be anniversary. Whereas a lot of people probably are turned off by the fact that it's only Goku's probably. I think that once a lot of people have a similar sentiment. Like last year, we saw Double Gogeta come out, and people were not excited for him. Then we got the kits, the animations, the active skill voices, and things were a complete 180s. STR Super Vegito, people were the exact same way, and a complete 180. I think that you could kind of be unexcited for it. That's understandable, but I would say to wait to get final judgments until you actually see the units and what they do and their animations, because I feel like that is what truly makes and breaks it for most of the community. I mean, if it's a character that you really just don't like, sure. But even like a character like Dokkan Festival Yamcha, people actually do like that unit. Even though they may not necessarily be a fan of that Yamcha, as a character, right? I'm not really a fan of that Yamcha from the Saiyan Saga. I'm sure many people aren't, but many people do like his character in game and what he's doing, right? So, yeah. How do I feel about superhero overall? I think it was good, besides the Beast Gohan section, but I feel that everything else with the Easy Ace, the actual contents, even Piccolo, was very, very good. There's a lot of stuff to do during the celebration. I think they handled it very well. Most memorable Dokkan Controversy Clown Fest can be on Twitter as well, too, and why. Most memorable Dokkan Battle Controversy. Dude, it has to be the one and only 300 Stones. That was a whole nothing burger, but people made it such a big thing and kept it up for a very long time. Another one probably to be released. That is a major, huge one that a lot of people talked about. I think if there's any really memorable controversies, it would be those two moments are the biggest ones. Definitely, for sure. Pretty massive. Pretty funny, too. But if we get Global First in February, what character would I want it to be? It would probably, I think, someone asked for a Beerus. Maybe just a straight up new Dokkan Festival Beerus could be really interesting. I mean, I'm not sure if many people would be that excited for it, but it would make sense with the God Goku Easy coming, right? What I want to make the game better, auto kind of replay, revamp Dokkan events. Yeah, dude, revamping Dokkan events would be another really good one I didn't think about. Dokkan event farming sucks. They should let you set like a difficulty meter, and then if you set it at the highest, you get 77 medals in a run. But it's like red zone, max level. That would be really cool. Physical Super Vegito STR Boo, and what would I like for him to get the Easy Ace? Physical Vegito up his damage reduction for sure. Give him some sort of consistent defense in his passive. And maybe give him a Scouter somewhere. Could be interesting. SDR Transforming Boo. Make his transformation condition just turn... I don't know. Maybe turn 4 probably would be best. And then... It's just weird. I don't think they're going to change the HP portion. But... he just needs more in base. His base form is just attack and defense 80%, and that's all he got. He lowers attack. He even back then, that was a whole nothing burger, like I said. But yeah. Int Piccolo's EZA from the World Tournament. What would his kit look like? I would just make him, honestly, just give him 80% damage reduction. Don't give him any attack. Make him support all allies, but like 70%. 80% defense and like 3 key and like 10% reduction or something, and just make him like pure defense, like a wall, a protector. That's kind of the point of the moment right there. That's why he's defensively based. I think that could be really cool. Yeah, and I guess they would have to give him attack, like I guess 100% attack and super. Sure, it wouldn't be a lot, but it would be helpful. His ideal role would be just a slot one tank. I think that'd be really cool, and it'd be really helpful for the Saiyan Saga team to get like a 3 key defensive damage reduction unit like that that can go slot one, because a lot of units are slot two, right? Favorite and least favorite Dokkan moment. Favorite Dokkan battle moment, again, 350 mil. When Super Saiyan Goku was revealed, his animations, that was really sick. Least favorite Dokkan moment. When I get shafted. In general. Every single shaft I had. With anniversary coming up, what is something you want to see Dokkan repeat from the last anniversary? Or something new you want to see them do? I want to definitely see them repeat the... I like the School of Events. I don't know. That's what's come to my mind right now. I'd have to look at the previous anniversary. EX part was really cool. I think getting a new EX part would be really sick to see. Something new they wanted to do. I mean, Carnival Dokkan Festival format. I think that'd be pretty simple to say, right? I want to see that for anniversary instead of them doing the last year format with the yellow coin part 2. When do I think EZA, Gohan, and Cell are coming to global? I mean, there's a question on there. I don't know. I honestly don't know. They could do it before anniversary, the global version. They could do it sometime in April. I mean, I've seen someone say they think it'll be in April to help cover content, like a content gap. Maybe we have actually no idea, unfortunately, and there's not really an answer I could provide to that. My opinion on app resetting, a viable option, doesn't make a no run relevant. I don't think it makes a no run relevant. I mean, the thing is that they changed the game. Like the game, how it used to work is that you could mid-turn reset the app, and then you could just start from the beginning. Even if you see yourself getting super attacked by a killing blow, you reset the app, and then they changed it to. Well, how it used to be is that you could just start from the very beginning before you even pick orbs and make a different decision. Whilst now, once you click the orbs to start the rotation, you're guaranteed to get that no matter what. So, I don't think app resetting is a big deal because, again, there are situations where maybe you misclick an orb or you realize, hey, maybe I should do it this way instead. I don't think it really goes against like an autumn run because they changed the game to work that way instead of keeping it the same as it was. So yeah, you could technically think of it as Dokkan approved. New superhero tag. What do you think will be the next LR from Dragon Ball Super? Hopefully Hakai Beerus, another UI Goku from Tournament of Power. Tournament of Power needs help really, really badly. Top 5 EZAs. I mean, I don't know if I can name 5, but physical Vegito, and then physical Piccolo, Tech Gohan. Let's do that. That could be really fun. There's a lot of questions here. I'm not sure if I can get to every single question, unfortunately. I read a few more right here on the Twitter side, and I guess 1 or 2 more on the YouTube side, but I'll call it from there. Yeah, I talked about this one here. Honestly, most of the easiest TURs. I feel like a lot of them are better than people give credit for. Like as Dynamic Goku, a lot of people call him terrible. He's not terrible. He's actually pretty good. Super Saiyan 3 Bardock is actually a pretty useful option. I actually do enjoy that Super Saiyan 3 Bardock EZA. In Kid Goku, a lot of people think he's actually just bad. And it's like, that's not true. As a unit, he's actually pretty good. Yeah, that's what I'd say. I mean, if there's one unit I hate more than others, is that physical Dragon Ball Super Broly. With GBS making a return, will we see stuff in the anime? Yeah, I think we'll see stuff in the anime. It depends on when it comes back, I guess. We don't know for sure. What got me into the game? I saw the game in the App Store. I was like, cool. My most anticipated release, like a brand new unit. I guess it's not a brand new unit, but Kid Goku versus Demon King Piccolo Dual Dokkan Fest, Goku versus Tien 22nd Budokai Dual Dokkan Fest, same with Goku versus Jackie Chun, Goku versus Piccolo Jr. That's all original Dragon Ball Saga stuff I really want to see, but I don't think Goku versus Jackie Chun will happen anytime soon, if ever, because we got that free-to-play LR Jackie Chun, unfortunately, so that does suck for sure. If we don't get Vegitos, when do you think I could see them? This year, I feel, has to be the year. Would I believe Carnival Goku being better than Vegeta and Trunks? I can't see the argument personally. Carnival Goku is doing very similar things to this unit. Whilst he's not like as good of a slot 1 tank as them because he has to get hit that first time. He has the revive ability. He's on a billion more teams. I think he just has more utility to him. So I understand if you like Carnival Goku better than Vegeta and Trunks personally. I can't see Incel as the best easy LR. His base form is just not good enough. Like I think his base form is fine. It's not special, but if you compare it to like Super Saiyan Gohan, it's a night and day difference, I feel. And I feel like if you really heavily lean into his transformation, then sure, I could see him. Like when he's transformed, he might be straight up the best like unit in the game. Just the unit in the game, number one. But otherwise, it's just I find it difficult to transform into him consistently. It's there when you really need it, but sometimes it's also not there when you really need it. So, yeah. Vegito question. Yeah, free-to-play players do survive in this game very well. I think you know exactly what you want to summon for. My personal recommendation, summon on Anniversary and Worldwide. Those are your best options. Will Dokkan add PvP? Hopefully not. Best Dokkan OST of all time. I think I said this earlier. I had to sit down and kind of just look at it. I mean, one really good one, funny enough, is the Blue Cow OST. That one just came into my mind. There's so many good ones. The Tech Vegito OST from the 5th anniversary, I feel like is really good. A lot of people like the Aster Gogeta Blue. I like that one as well. But yeah, those are some like really other top ones here. How did you spend besides some Max and Red Zone? I don't know. I guess the collection of epic battles with Gohan and Cell. How many times have I deleted the app? I mean, not really. I mean, I guess technically my old phone, I don't have anymore. I don't know. I have to reinstall the app here, but oh, you know what I did? Recently, I deleted the app to see if that would fix the sale prices back to the old ones where they're cheap, and it did not. So that's like the last time I deleted the app. I deleted the app. Like I could probably count the number of times in my hand I actually had the app deleted, but you know, I like in the game that I feel no one else likes. Super Saiyan 3 Bardock. Yeah, no one really likes that unit, I feel like a lot. I am a big fan of him. Do you think they'll ever do anything to revive other older units that have already Easy Aid? Yeah, I think, yeah, again, they talked about the Easy Aid thing, so hopefully. Most hyped banner ever? 5 years. 5 years, by far. I think just Naruto, that was the most hyped unit ever in terms of their banner release, but yeah. There's 2 more quotes, I think. Thoughts? Tech Gohan, yeah. Okay, well, well, okay, sure. Anyways, winding things off there, I think that we did answer a lot of questions here, just Dokkan related. Maybe I'll do another one of these sooner rather than later. Can I get more comments? I don't know. I'm sorry if you're gonna get your question. That's my bad. This is a 50-minute video. What I don't know what am I supposed to do about this, man. But if y'all watched, thank y'all for watching till the end. Let me know what you think. If you're excited for anniversary, I guess. And I'll catch you next time.